Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains. There's only one requirement to hang out on the edge, is that you open your big brain and close your small mind. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now. On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. How are you today? We're back at your favorite spot, one of the best podcasts on the planet. Today we are visiting with Mark Bellestri. He's going to talk to us about 3 to 5, the 3 to 5 club. I'm going to tell you something about 3 to 5, but not right now in a minute. Something happens to me between 3 and 5 a.m. in the morning. There's a certain connectivity with the universe. He's going to tell us what he's pouring into his people. He's also got a podcast. He's working with a dynamic group of innovators, thought leaders, provocateurs. Let's welcome him to the show. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing well. Thanks, April, for having me. Really a pleasure.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love to have it. A lot of people say, you just have women on your show. I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. I said, I've got men, but men get a little squeamish with me because I let them show their vulnerability.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Show away is what I say. So we're all on this earth to really make an impact, in my opinion, and it's usually messy, but in the end, it all works out.
Absolutely. So tell my brains how you show up in the world.
So I show up as a pretty imperfect human with a mission statement, and I have a mission which is extraordinary life through extraordinary service. So my life is built around serving others in all different kinds of capacity. It could be my neighbors, it could be my friends, and what I have a real passion for are for entrepreneurs and small business owners because I believe they need outside eyes to help them in the ups and downs of what we call small business.
Well, there's nothing small about business in any capacity.
Yep.
You've got an obligation to self, your client, the community. You need to learn these things. Entrepreneurs, you can end up being entrepreneur. I love to tell people that because there is some trickery involved. There's a risk taking involved. What do you say to people that are just ready to step out on that leap of faith? They want to give up their 9 to 5 and they want to join the 3 to 5 club.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what we say. You know, the myth is you have to figure it out on your own as the business owner, as the founder of your company. You have to do it on your own. It doesn't count if you get help. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. We were built and we were meant for community. And one of the best things you could do if you're thinking of either starting a business or you're in the midst of a business is get involved with like-minded individuals who will help you by their experience, their outside eyes, and just stop being a rugged individualist thinking it has to be done by yourself. But the best thing you can do is get involved with like-minded individuals who know what you may have gone through and give you great confidence and ideas and probably share their experiences going, you know what, that happened to me. Let me tell you what I've done.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And also have another revenue stream because it takes money to make money. You've got to be able to sustain yourself while you get this business up and running. You know, if you got a partner that is willing to foot the bill while you venture out like I did, that works great. But everyone can't do that. Sometimes you got a single mother that says, you know, I want to take this cookie making business to the next level.
Right.
You could have a person that's into tech or AI that they're scared to move forward. So connecting with like-minded individuals is so important. How did you start the 3 to 5 club? And tell us what it is.
Well, 3 to 5 Club actually was started by my business partner, Chuck Blakeman, who, like myself, we had many businesses and some of them even successful. Um, but you know, what I call business, whether it's successful or whether it's a challenge, it's nothing more than a high-priced PhD, but it prepares you for life. And so when I came to I'm out of the Denver area, I came across a book that Chuck wrote called Making Money is Killing Your Business. And that's for business owners who get in the stage where they're actually making money, but they feel like the only way they can keep it going is to run faster and faster and become more involved in the business, i.e., 50, 60, 70-hour weeks. And I read the book and I found out that Chuck was here in the Denver area. And so I emailed him. I said, look, I'm new to the Denver area. Love to pick your brain, take you out to breakfast. And sure enough, the next morning he said, yeah, I'd love to do that. And that was almost 8 years ago. And we became fast friends and now we're business partners. And we share one common philosophy. We are here to help people make meaning in their lives. And we believe they can do that by owning a business. But there's certain ways of doing it, and we want to make sure that they're set up correctly and they don't just buy themselves a job, but they actually buy themselves a job that gives them meaning and freedom to live their ideal life.
Well, I'm jealous. He got breakfast.
Yeah. Well, if you lived closer, I'd have no problems.
Well, I may come for a Denver omelet. What you
There
think
you
about
go. Yeah,
that?
yeah.
What you said is very true. When people have to consolidate and consider what they're doing, but a purpose. But a lot of times, I talked to this one gentleman on the phone, and yes, I had to tell him my thoughts. He wanted freedom.
Mhm.
Well, I would say flexibility. Entrepreneurs are not free. I'm on the
That's right.
grind 24/7. I meet a great person. I'm having a conversation with them. I'm giving them my business card. I'm following up. I'm doing the discovery call. I'm trying to
Mhm.
book the deal. It's an ongoing process, and then sustaining relationships. You know, all of that. And people say, "Oh, well, I just don't want." The one guy was telling me, "Well, I don't want a boss." And I
Mhm.
don't want to be locked into a 9 to 5. I said,
Mhm.
well, you're gonna be locked into a 24/7. And the boss is your client. You have to provide a level of service. You've got to sell to value. You've got to close the deal. Are
Mhm.
these some of the things that you agree with?
I do, and that's a stage, though. What 3 to 5 actually does, and we believe there's 7 stages to business,
Mm,
and that's a stage that everyone has to go through. What we also believe, though, is that through the right input and the right way, we call it mindset,
mm-hmm,
through that shift, you can actually build a business where you have the process maps, we call it freedom maps, set up so that you still are the eyes, the ears, the face of the company, but you have some of the other duties, the execution of it taken care of by other people at a very reasonable price. And that's why we call it freedom mapping. And so, absolutely no illusion that the first year, maybe even 2, you've got to really do what you got to do, like we all have. But then, if you build the business correctly, there is the ability for you to build in more flexibility and more freedom and actually leverage your time where other people, and we don't like calling employees because we don't like employees. What we like is stakeholders. We like to treat people like they have a stake in our business. And
right.
so when you start having a stakeholder mindset and hiring people who actually buy into your mission, your vision, and want to get as excited and have as much impact helping that business grow as you do, that's when you start seeing the real freedom and flexibility in your business. And you've helped them by developing tools to follow processes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can come in instead of checking their brain at the door, they can actually help you develop more efficient and effective processes to keep delivering a higher level of service. So absolutely, but there's more stages, I think. And our job is to help educate people of these are the stages. And at level 5, to get to a level 5 business, it's not difficult. And that's how 3 to 5 came about. We believe you can get there in 3 to 5 years, but you have to have a mindset shift and you have to know what has to be done to get there.
Right. Well, you're talking next level leadership.
Yep, exactly.
When you are talking about a mindset shift, a lot of times people get stuck on a mindset. In
Mhm.
business, I can see it. In the world today, it needs to be conscious
Yep, that's right.
because you need to have consciousness. You need to know exactly what's going on, know fact from fiction, be able to take a risk, be able to take a chance, reward, recognize, praise, feel good for yourself, have that I am enough conversation.
Yep.
You know, they're they're just falling short. But so many people after COVID joined up for the Great Resignation.
Yep.
Like, well, how y'all gonna eat and buy $20 eggs?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That nobody wanted to go back to work.
Yep.
Then they got comfortable with this working from home. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. I work from home. I'm disciplined. I have no
Mm-hmm.
choice. But taking proprietary information, the computer, all that, and then when I call you, I hear the baby crying in the background. I hear the pots and pans. I'm really not taking your company very seriously.
Right.
Now there's been another shift here recently with the current administration
Mm-hmm.
that they want people back in the office. I'm paying for the brick and mortar. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to come in. I want that as an
Mm-hmm.
employer. Where are you seeing that headed now as for the entrepreneur and the new businesses that are starting? Do you think in and out of the office, do you think you can get as much out of your team with that? Or do you need to kind of wrangle that in?
Well, I think again, I think it's all about a mindset shift and the intention. As a leader of your company, you're in charge of three things, right? You're one, guardian of the culture, the company culture.
Mm-hmm.
Two, piloting of the results, and then three, champion of the people. And so when I say that, the question you as an entrepreneur have to ask, what is the best format in my work environment that I need to create so that I can accomplish those? Have a great culture. So some businesses require full-time on-site to keep the culture where it needs to. Others can do it where it's a hybrid, a combination of the two. And still others, because of how they have, could be happy hour or lunch on us. We're sending you a gift certificate, but we're all going to do it via Zoom. So there's ways to creatively create that. But
Right.
the fact is, it depends on your business and what you want to do. But the most important question to ask, and really questions are the steering wheel of the mind. The more powerful questions you ask, the better answers you're going to get. So you need to ask, what does my company need to do as far as requirements for my stakeholders so
Mm-hmm.
that we can thrive and make the environment as favorable as possible, i.e., attract the right talent. And what does that look like? And it could be something that's completely different than those three. And,
Right.
and so because your company is going to be different and you just continue to have that conversation with people. But I've seen many companies that work really well, especially for us small to mid-sized entrepreneurs. You can do virtual, but it takes more work, I think, to maintain and to grow the culture.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, but that is the culture now with
Yep.
millennials, Gen Z, is
Yep.
that they want that flexibility. They can work just as efficient, if not
Hmm.
more so, and the incorporation of AI.
Hmm. Right.
People are afraid of AI. I'd say if you get on board, you make a nice little investment, you could be riding the wave.
Yep.
What are you seeing in the entrepreneurial world and people utilizing artificial intelligence? Because
Well, you described it correctly. There are some like yourself and myself where I ask the more empowering question, how can I utilize this incredible application to leverage my time and improve my results?
right,
Other people are like, oh my gosh. And it's the Henry Ford saying, right? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. And if you think it's the enemy, guess what? It's going to be your enemy. But if you actually embrace this and learn it and figure out ways how it can actually improve your business, your customer experience, even your stakeholder employee experience, it's not going away, guys. It's kind of
no,
like back in the days when cars came around, the horseless carriage, they used to call it, and
right,
saddle makers refused to believe that this was just a fad. No, it wasn't a fad. It was a shift. And what happened? Now there's not many saddle makers out there.
right.
And so it's just that it's here. The best thing you could do as a whether you're an individual or a small business owner is to ask the question, how can I use this to improve my life and my business?
Absolutely, because it's here and it is making
Yep.
money and it is going at, you know, warp speed.
Yeah, it's going to accelerate even more in the next 5 to 10 years.
It's going to
And
be great.
those who refuse to learn from it will just be that much more behind or disenfranchised when, in fact, it's been here. It's coming. There's been probably no more telegraph of the future direction of our humanity than what's happening right now.
And the worst thing that you can do is be ignorant about
Yep,
anything.
that's right.
And ignorant only means not knowing brains. I tell you
That's
that all
correct.
the time. You know, if you know how it works, how to apply it, you don't have to use it. I'm not very fond of Siri. You know, my husband will say, Siri, turn on the radio. And I say, Siri, turn it off. Walk over there, baby, and turn on the radio. I want some human interaction. But
Right.
I'm in my car and I need directions or I need someone to dial a phone number for me. Who do I reach out to?
Right.
So you have to do that. And this is what the future is. And they haven't even talked about robotics,
Yep. Uh-huh.
Wow, but that's where we are.
Yeah.
So, what do people have to look forward to when they, number one, listen to the podcast? Tell us
Mhm.
a little bit about that. And
Yeah.
number two, when they join the 3 to 5 Club.
You bet. So our podcast called Get Off the Treadmill is really meant for entrepreneurs and business owners to learn the processes and the steps to have your business and build a business that serves you and your ideal life.
Mm.
And so we cover the topics in Chuck's book, which is Making Money's Killing Your Business, and his latest book, which is Sell Less and Earn More. And so we are a big believer in not necessarily direct selling, but serving. So we say serve, don't sell. And you help people get what they want, you're going to get what you want. If you do it with the right intention, authentically, then it's amazing what happens. And so that's what you get by listening to podcasts. Great ideas, great inspiration of how to set your business up so that it can serve you and your ideal lifestyle in the long term. And then when it comes to joining 3 to 5, what you get is a peer-to-peer collaborative group of business owners. We cover topics of how to build your business. We have what we call the 4 main building blocks, which is one, we help all business owners. And I think this is a huge mistake for almost most of the small business owners is developing your big why, your vision statement. Why are you doing this? What's your big why? Because a lot of people, they want to get into business because they like something or they're really passionate about it. But why? What do you want to do? What's your long-term accomplishment? And we say a vision statement, lifetime goal is something you can never check off. It's something, for me, extraordinary life through extraordinary service. So I use my business as a vehicle to realize my vision. So that's number one when you join the 3 to 5 Club. Two, we have what's called our 2-page strategic plan where we help you develop a plan it's not a shelf help. It's not just this document that sits on your bookcase. What it does is it guides your daily, weekly actions of how to move your business forward so you can have what we call a business maturity date. And that means you can step away from your business for 3 weeks, not even look at your emails, your phone, and your business will do just as good as if you were there. And that's, we believe, is achievable in 3 to 5 years. I've
Wow.
personally experienced that myself. And so they get that, and then they get the outside eyes of the community. And that's where every meeting we have, and we have meetings twice a month, we have our business owners who come up with what we call a bottleneck. That's something that could be an opportunity or a problem. I find they're usually one and the same. They present that to the group. The group then asks them clarifying questions. And then after that, the group gives them solutions that they can take away and start to implement at that point. And we think that's invaluable
That
for
peer to
anyone.
peers, you can't beat that.
Yeah,
So my mentor always tells me, April, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
that's
Just
right.
do what other successful people have done.
Yep. And that's
There's
correct.
nothing new under the sun.
That is absolutely correct. And everyone says, well, my business, you're like, yeah, maybe. But 80% of all of our problems as business owners are probably pretty much the same. The 20% might be the nuance. And even then, I'll tell you what, you'll probably have more success getting people from outside the industry who aren't so conditioned to it,
Right,
giving
right.
solutions that you would have never thought of because, oh, I can't do that. Well, why not?
I know it's strange. Another one of my mentors would never go to networking meetings in human resources.
Mm-hmm,
That was her She says, "No, I
mm-hmm,
know that. I want to go where there's other people doing other things,
right.
sales, marketing. What I want to pick up new talents, new
Yep.
skills." So let's ask you some fun questions because
All
this is
right, let's go for it.
part of the interview. If you were an appliance in the kitchen, Mark,
Mm-hmm.
what appliance would you be?
A Viking stove.
A Viking stove. Why a
Yeah,
Viking?
because
Those
I
are
love to
expensive.
cook. Yes, it is. I love to cook, and I am just all about that. And for me, I would be a tool to help you cook better.
Oh, I want to be the dishwasher today. I just want to keep it clean, hot, steamy. That's perfect. If you could time travel, go
Mhm.
back to the past, stay here in the present, project to the future, where would you land?
A future.
The future. Me too. Why?
Yeah, I'm always excited about the possibilities
Mhm.
and just how much more we can do and learn. I think we're just scratching the surface. I mean, if you think about 100 years ago, if we were to travel back and tell somebody all the things we're doing, like right now, even over Zoom, they think it was crazy. Like we were belonged in an asylum, and you couldn't even fathom it. I can only imagine even 50 years from now what life will be like.
What would you say to a Mark Bellestri at 25 years old?
Probably to trust the process, don't force it, and lead with your heart.
You're a very heart centered individual, compassionate man. A lot of people are angry right now for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm,
and they are verbally displaying that. I'm seeing there's other people in certain sectors that are going back to kindness.
mm-hmm,
How do we become kinder in the work environment? It's so competitive and it can't be hostile.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great question. There's so many uh, possibilities with that. Personally, back in my youth, I was a pretty driven individual. I had some nicknames that weren't necessarily kind that people called me, like Chainsaw Bellestri and
Mm,
all those kind of fun things, because I was really driven. What changed me over my years is that I discovered reflection and meditation and a gratitude practice in the morning.
mhm.
And through that, it's kind of like a big block of granite. I was chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. And through that gratitude, most of us, I don't care what's going on in your life, most of us who have the ability to listen to this and see this have so many more things to be grateful for than we can even imagine.
Yes.
And it's for me, it's that gratitude. And when I used to get defensive when people came after me, now it's more like, man, what must be going on right now that
Right.
they're having to do this? And so it's compassion in that way, knowing that we all have a story. Life is just one big educational experience, and I think if you lead with your heart and look for win-wins, I think if more people did that, we would have a whole different environment versus always having to be the one that wins at
Right.
all expense.
And gratitude can be a no.
Yep, that's correct.
No is a complete sentence.
Yep,
No can be a boundary for you. It could be a buffer because you could be headed in the wrong direction. We always think, that you got to go straight ahead. Sometimes you got to deviate. Sometimes you got to go around. A
yep.
lot of times you got to step back and take a look at it. So being grateful. 3 to 5. Let me
Mhm.
tell you about my 3 to 5. So I'm sitting here, trolling the internet like everybody. And who pops up but Joe Dispenza? And he talks about people that are woken up between 3 and 5 a.m. It's like clockwork for me, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he's talking to me. You turn this up and pay attention. There's a certain ritual that now I follow. When I get up, I don't grab the device on my way to the throne because you know you got to go to the bathroom
Mm-hmm.
anyway. But I stop and I grab my heart. I'm thankful that I'm awake. And then I do some sort of physical exercise. And then I take a few minutes to learn something. I say I am enough. I create my reality. Everything is perfect now. I am infinite possibilities. What else is possible? And how can it get any better than this? And I'm telling you, I feel like I'm soaring. I really do. And what I've also learned in my deep meditation is to give up control. You don't always have to be in control of everything. If you're in control, you do not allow the universe to provide you with other options and choices because you think that you know what's best. You don't always know what's best. You know, when you were 15 or 16 years old and you got yourself in a whole lot of trouble, out drinking, drugging, not coming home, fornicating, whatever it was, you thought you were doing the right thing. That's not it. So, again, it's trying to work within the confines and the structure that has been predestined, that's already out there. It's your subconscious mind. We've never even met everybody that lives there. You
Yeah.
feeling me?
Well, live it.
And it's so strange. And if people open themselves up to that, I don't think that they would have a whole lot more space for all this hostility and anxiety because they could be excited about what is new and what is coming. So, in closing, you have just been such an amazing guest. I want to hear about how to get in contact with you if people are interested in the 3 to 5 Club.
Yep.
And Chuck's book, Make Money. Making
Making
money is
money is
killing your
killing your
business.
business. Yep.
Wow, I want to see that. You don't have a copy there on your desk, do you?
I do not actually. I know where they're at, but they're not here.
All right, well that's all right. We'll figure out, and they're on
Yep.
Amazon, correct?
Yep, they sure are.
And what's his next book? What's his new book?
It's sell less, earn more. So it's the cure for the common cold call.
Wow. Oh, that is too cool. That is too cool. All right. Tell us how to get in contact with you, friend.
Yeah, absolutely. If you reach out at grow, so it's grow at 3to5club.com. You could, if any questions, I'd be happy to help you. And then our website is the number 3to the number 5 club.com. So 3to5.com.
3 to 5. Okay. And go in and check out what's happening to you if you're waking up between 3 and 5. You have been an inspiration, but you've also provided a lot of leadership tools and guidance and clarity in bite-sized pieces. Brains, we need you to do that. We have moved. I tell you that. We have moved over to Spreaker, which is an Apple product. You'll be able to Google us on Podbean and Spotify and Apple, all the great hotspots. We're on LinkedIn, we are on Instagram, we're on YouTube, and we're on the podcast, listening to the great inspiration of Mark and Chuck. Thank you so much for being here on the edge with us. If there's anything that we can do to support you, uplift you, motivate you, or make you smile, we're here for you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye, brains. Have a good day.